So we are on 4th Street outside of Zumbrota. I think that's Route 10. And you can see this little mound in front of me in the field. This is one of the railroad beds. And there was 2 of them here back in the day. So I don't know which one is left. This is either the Chicago Great Western or it's the Chicago Northwestern. And if I turn around, that railroad would have crossed the street here on an angle and went out that way there. Out that way some direction, right in there. And you got to remember the farmers already took back their fields, so this looks a lot different. Now this is where we left off when we made the Zumbrota video. If you remember when we were in Zumbrota and we were following the Milwaukee Road and the Chicago Great Western and the Chicago Northwestern, we found the depots and everything. I'll put that video in the annotations of this video, but this is where we're starting this time, and we're going to go out towards Lena. Lena's a ghost town today, and I'll stop periodically and we'll see if we can find the railroad as we drive down there. So, on another adventure. So, I'm going to put up a couple of maps here while I start driving. And I want you to look at these maps. So, I'm going to put up 2 of Zumbrota. One is a plat map, and it shows the railroads. And it's heading out of town. It's going east out of town. And it's going to bend to the southwest and head towards Pine Island. And I want you to look at what the names of the railroad tracks are heading east out of town. You'll see the Chicago Northwestern is on the north side and the Chicago Great Western's on the south side. So when it makes this bend and heads down to Pine Island, the Chicago Northwestern's going to be on the left, and the Chicago Great Western's going to be on the right. Then I'm going to put up another map that shows Lena and Pine Island, and it's reversed. It's reversed. They've got it flip-flopped, and where the Chicago Northwestern should be, they have the Chicago Great Western. So it's like, you don't know which one's right. But I'm going to put up another map that shows the Sanborn Insurance map also in Zumbrota. And remember, we've been there already. We found exact spots where the depots were. We know exactly where the railroad tracks were. So I think unless these tracks crisscross themselves somewhere between Zumbrota and where we're going, the map's got to be wrong. But you look at it, you see what you think, and hey, don't be afraid to comment. So I'll let you look at those maps, and we'll head down that way. You probably hear I'm at the gun club. This is on Route 200, and see the road here? You see the curvature of the road? This would be, I believe, the Chicago Northwestern, and to my right, no, my left. To my left, you can see a little knoll over there, not much. And that would have been the Chicago Great Western over there. But I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. You're driving on the railroad bed for the Chicago Northwestern. I thought that's nice. I had to stop and show you this. On 460. This is a railroad bed here that's grown in. I'll pan around. That would be the Chicago Great Western. There it is right there. And you can see the dip between the two rail beds. And this one over here is the Chicago Northwestern. Right in here. There you go. And this is pasture land, so I'm not going to go in there. Although this is the property that I have permission to walk. So I'll continue down the road a piece and show you another view. If I turn around, you can see this has been changed a little bit here with the approach to this driveway and probably this county road from back then. But I believe part of that driveway back there is on the rail bed. So I'm on 460th Street. I'm heading down that way towards 55. That's the way we're going to go into this railroad beds that I'm going to show you. But I can see them here. You can see a glimpse of those two railroad beds. You see them out there? The first one's real dominant, and then look behind it, you see the ridge of the second one. And they're heading out that way. Going out that way. Crossing this field and into that woods. And this is the section of land I have permission to go on. But he told me to beware because this is pasture land out here and he doesn't know when there's going to be cows. And I thought, well, I want to stay away from this, so I think we'll just go down 55 and we'll walk in from there. Just wanted to show you this. Okay, I'm on 55th Street and I'm going to show you where we're going to be heading into. But before we get started, there's a snowmobile trail here and I was trying to get permission to go down the snowmobile trail. But the DNR wouldn't give me permission to go down the snowmobile trail, so I had to write a letter to the homeowner, or the landowner I should say, and he emailed me back permission to go down to look at what I would call bridges, but you know, maybe they're more like culverts. And this is for the railroad, of course. So I'll show you where we're going. We'll head down there. So that's where we're heading, right down there. You see that? It's a stone. From here it looks like a tunnel, doesn't it? That's pretty cool, eh? A little closer, eh? So give me a minute to walk down there. That's our rail bed, and there should be two of them there. So here we go. Cool stuff, eh? I think this is wet down here from the snow right now. Okay, according to the Zumbrota map, this is our Chicago Western, Chicago Northwestern. Sorry, forgive me. And then that one back there is the Chicago Great Western. And I don't know if I want to walk through that water. But I may go up on top. There's enough trees for me to grab and see what it looks like from up there. This is really something, huh? You know what? There's stone on that bottom. See that? There's stone all the way through there. It's a... See, get closer look at that ceiling, eh? How's that look? That's pretty cool. A lot of work went into this just to make a little waterway, hey, to get through. And I'm surprised at how tall it is. I mean, this has got to be 10 feet off the ground for the opening. This is really cool. Well, I'm working my way up to the top. I'm almost there. Ooh. Yeah. Hey. I don't know, that's not too bad. Big old fat man like me, 72 years old. I made it. I can't go much further that way though, because I don't have permission to go on that property, but I'll give you a look. That down there is going to Lena. Yep. And right across here, look across here. See that other knoll? That's the other rail bed. So that would be the Chicago Great Western. This is the Chicago Northwestern. This is going to Zumbrota. Okay, that's the path I came down. There's some rocks on this side. It goes right down here. Yes, we are between the two railroads. Yep. That's your Chicago Great Western and your Chicago Northwestern. Yeah. You can, huh? Isn't this cool? I'm glad you could come with me. Yeah. You can see the bottom there again. Those are rocks. There's a path going up that way too. I'm gonna see if I can get down on that rock and video the inside of that and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's a formed concrete culvert, twin. This one's got water in it. And you can see this concrete that's kind of collapsed out in front. I wonder where that was. I wonder if that was up there at the top and fell off, or if it was always on the bottom there. I can hear the water running. This is the other side now looking through here. I think it's going to get dark. You see how tall that is? It's really something. And I think this was made up, you know, just so that water could run through here years ago. Must have been a lot of water at one time. Yep. Let's see, I can get on the other side. I'll hop on that concrete and cross over. This has got some cracks here. There you go. I don't see stones on the bottom of this one, and the water's deeper. See it draining out here. I don't mind getting my feet wet a little bit. There you go. That's the other end. It's got some cracks on it too. Okay, this is a look at the Chicago Northwestern from the top of the Chicago Great Western. Yeah. And now this is that area where this is also going to Lena. And if you look down here, now on this side, you can see a creek down there. Can you see it? It's coming out of the culvert. And it does have water in it on this side. So, which way does it flow? I don't know if it's flowing in at this point or out at this point. Who can say? But this is about as far as I can go, because this changes over to someone else's property, and I didn't get permission from anyone else. I just wrote this one fellow. So, but there you go. Chicago Great Western. Chicago Northwestern. Chicago Great Western. Okay, so we came from that direction, and now I see this barbed wire fence here, and this is some of the things the owner was telling me about, because this is pasture out here, but you can see what the area looks like back here. Even some old ties here. Isn't that something? Just love it. So we're going to walk back the way we came. I thought maybe I'd walk back on the Chicago Great Western, but I think we'll just walk back this way. You know, I did find a way to get over here, and the gate is open here. I found a way to walk through that woods, and this is our Chicago Northwestern, so I'm gonna walk back on that, and then I'll meet you at the truck. But you can see here on this side how this is cut out of this hill. Isn't that cool? There's your rail bed right there. Chicago Northwestern. This is so cool. Makes you feel like you're back in time, doesn't it? I just love the feeling I get when I walk through and see stuff like that. Okay, I'm back in my truck and I'm checking my notes. It was the Rochester and Minnesota Railway that first built the line from Rochester to Zumbrota in 1878. And then it went to the Chicago Northwestern. So that culvert or bridge, whatever you want to call it, it's probably a culvert, that could go back to the previous railroad. I mean, how old do you think that is? So that could be some pretty awesome history, especially if it went all the way back. So we are on the corner of 60 and 470, and we are now in downtown Lena. That's right. And I'm going to just go over a little bit of history. I like giving a little history before we look at where the depot was. We're talking about the Rochester and Northern Minnesota Railway that came in 1878. And when the railroad came in, that's when this town was established. And the name of the town was Jerusalem. But that didn't last long, and almost at once it was changed to Lena. There was no depot at that point, but then when the Chicago Northwestern came in and the Chicago Great Western, they both wound up having depots. So there was 2 depots out here at one time, but long gone. Farmer's field. You can hardly see where the railroad would have been, but I'll give you a look in a minute. There was an elevator here, and there was a post office, and looks like a creamery. And one of the comments was that when people got off the train in the early years, they had to get off and stay at somebody's house and wait at the house for the train to come by. So that's some real old history going back to the beginning, eh? So I just wanted to share that with you because, hey, it's nice to know some of that stuff. The Chicago Great Western started serving this area in 1903. So that's probably when they built the depot, and that's the only picture of a depot I have. There was 2. I only have a picture of the Chicago Great Western. So I'll get out now and I'll show you a little bit about Lena. Okay? Okay, my friends. This is Lena. And this is one of Goodhue County's Historical Society ghost towns. And I was giving you some of the information from that ghost town book. And by the way, the Historical Society still has copies of that book if you're interested. And the picture of this depot coming up will be courtesy of the Goodhue County Historical Society. So this is where our train stations would have been, right in this area. Now, we came from down that road, okay? And if you see that clump of trees over there, right over there, that clump of trees, that's our railroad coming through here. So, you know, they did a good job of erasing that railroad here. But eyeing things up on the map here, I'm going to say that, can you see where the ground dips there? See how that dips? And then it goes up again? I'm thinking that dip, there's a railroad on each side of that line. So I'm thinking that depot would have been right about there for the Chicago Great Western. So I'm going to plug in that picture, and you know, I could be off because, like I say, look at this. There's really no way to tell. I'm just guessing that the high points would have been the rail beds. So, and the one depot was in between the rail beds over here. So I'm going to say this is where our depot was, right here. Well, hope you had fun. I love this history. That's all I say, don't I? I love this history. I love this history. I'll catch you on my next one. Glad you could all be with me. God bless you all. And special thank you to Lawrence, because I couldn't even have made this video without him. So thanks, Lawrence. Thanks a lot. We all appreciate it. I'll catch you all later.